guys, if you like this video, go check out the first video and subscribe to my channel. The theme for this episode is going to be spring graduation. I did want to make this cake last year when I graduated. I just did not have the chance to. I was moving and then I went to Vegas for magic classes. I finally got to make it. I took this recipe from my mom. It contains carrots. I don't even have a name for it yet, so if you can suggest any names, I'm going to upload it in a separate video. Basically, after cooking the carrots with the sugar until it's gold, we're gonna mix it with the other ingredients, and then we're gonna lay it on a sheet of parchment paper or wax paper and put it in the fridge or the freezer to set. In the meanwhile, we're going to put some coconut flakes in a Ziploc bag. We will add some vanilla extract and some green food coloring. I also ended up adding some yellow after that. We're going to divide the dough and then shape it in a small carrot shape and roll them in a shredded coconut. We will then add some of the coconut flakes that we colored. I prepared some cake rolls and ganache. Let it set for a little bit after you take it out from the fridge. I did not have time to, so it was still cold when I did this, but it worked. To decorate these, I prepared some red fondant. Cut the cake roll and wrap each one with a fondant ribbon so it will look like a diploma. So since I don't have a graduation cap cookie cutter, I hand cut one cookie. I baked it and then I used it as a template for the rest, and this is after I baked them. For the black icing, I used a store-bought and I did not really like how it turned out. I flipped over an icing bag and added some food coloring and then filled it with white icing, and I will use it to make the tassels. I also made some buttons. You can see them on the left side. Just because it's spring, I added some spring themed cookies. I thought it's not gonna be completed without them. When the button sets, I just glued them with a little bit of icing. Melt some marshmallows with butter and then add Rice Krispies. I'm looking at my reference photos. I'm going to make roughly the same shape. So I wanted a rabbit from the hat reference, so I decided to put a rabbit next to the graduation cap because it's a magician's graduation party. But I choose a Snowball because he used to work as a magician's assistant. So I made carrots, cakes and cupcakes. Roommate had some of them, that's why I had less than I should have. So I made ganache and let it sit for 2 hours, and this is how it should look like. I'm going to cover the cakes with ganache. I only have 4 6-inch pans. That's why I used one that is slightly bigger, and I'm going to trim the extra. I also regret adding it to start with because the final cake turned out to be slightly taller than it should have, and then I carved it a little bit. I know I should have carved more. I wasn't thinking. I was looking at a model that is not an actual graduation cap. So remember what Yolanda says? Cram coat and chill. After I put it in the fridge to chill, here I'm doing the second layer. So this is my homemade fondant. As you see, it's not really black and also not really flexible. And this is Wilton fondant. You see the difference in the color. So I'm mixing both. I added some Gumtex powder to this patch because I wanted it to harden. I ended up making a mistake, and then I had to recut it, and I cut it slightly shorter than I should have the second time, so I wasn't happy with the cake at the end. I then covered the cake with fondant I did not add any gum text to this patch, by the way. To make the ears, I'm using white and pink fondant. I did add gum text to this one as well. You can also make half and half gum paste and fondant if you want to. And then using gauze in the center, I'm going to sandwich 2 layers. And please, if you want any of the recipes I used in this episode, let me know. Leave me a comment below and I will make it in a separate video. I prepared some chocolate clay. I let it set for like 2 hours or so. I will knead it and cover my Rice Krispie treat. You may find it easier to cover it in sections. Remember to check your reference photos. If any place looks a lot smaller than it should have, just add more chocolate clay. I prefer when making feet or arms or anything symmetrical to just make a cylinder and cut it in the middle. The reference photo I wanted to make had no ears, so I had to print another one. Only at this point I realized I was looking at the wrong reference. So I'm going to make the eyes using white fondant. The color looks a little bit different in real life. It doesn't show on the camera. Here I'm adding volume to the muzzle, and then I'm going to make the nose out of pink fondant. I'll just take a small part and shape it into a triangle, making the eyes out of blue sky fondant and black fondant, and then I used a small of the white fondant, and then add more chocolate clay for the cheeks. And a small black fondant inside the mouth. On the top left corner you can see the teeth. I prepared them off camera for some reason. And here I'm making the tongue and some pink for the outside of the mouth. I forgot to prepare the carrot the day before. Everything you need it to be dry and solid, you should prepare it at least a day before. Just like we did with the ears and also with the top of the cap. And just add volume for the tail. I also made 2 carrot toppers for the cupcakes. I forgot to film that part as well. Here I'm preparing the tassels for the cake and cupcakes. I choose these colors because they were the colors for my university. I went to CSU East Bay, previously known as Cal State Howard. So I had to remake the top, and I unfortunately forgot to measure it, so it became smaller than it should have. Try to insert the gauze and cut the excess as needed, and be extra gentle with it. I kind of push it, and right there, I push it so hard and I broke it. I did not have time to remake it, but please make the holes first, then insert the ears. Be gentle with it. I ended up making some chocolate cupcakes because, as I mentioned, roommates ate some of it. Measure the cupcake and cut the top part of the cap. Cut the dome of the cupcake, remove the cupcake liner, cover it with ganache. We will cover the bottom and the sides of the cupcake, and then we will cover it with black fondant. At this point, again, roommate came in and had some while I wasn't home, so I had to redo all of this again just for the sake of taking the pictures, because I did not even get to take pictures. And then just assemble the cupcake, add the tassel and the button to the top. With a brush, just wet the top of the cupcake with some water and add the top part. These cupcakes, I'm covering them with ganache and some Oreo crumbs. And here I'm just making paws. Actually, here I'm making bunny paws. Actually, I saw this idea from Molten and I liked it. I know bunnies have 4 toes and they are covered with hair, but I thought they were super cute, so I made them. These are everything we made today. Thanks for watching this episode. Please, if you like it, share it, subscribe, and leave me a comment below. Let me know what other themes you want to see.